You see things you want to improve, and you want to get noticed for all the right reasons. It feels natural to show your strengths, hoping the people in charge will appreciate your talents. Yet here's where a small mistake can cause big trouble. If you shine too brightly, you might risk making your boss or mentor feel overshadowed. Law number 1 teaches us to be aware of how the people above us see our actions. Even when we aim to impress them, we need to be careful not to make them feel weaker or less skilled. It sounds simple, but the way people respond to these dynamics is often more emotional than logical. At the heart of this law is the need for sensitivity. You must sense when the person in charge might feel threatened. This can happen if you show too much flair or bring too many new ideas too fast. That doesn't mean you must hide your skills. Instead, it suggests you study how your boss or teacher reacts to different situations and find a way to present your strengths without causing alarm. If you see they like praise, give it sincerely. If they prefer modesty, show your enthusiasm in smaller steps. The goal is not to hide who you are, but to make sure the person in power sees you as helpful and loyal rather than someone seeking to take their place. Many times we forget this because it feels good to stand out. We might be young and eager or just proud of our abilities, but pride can turn into a problem if it makes us blind to the mood of those around us. Some people think their superiors will be grateful when shown a better way of doing things. That is not always true. Fear of being replaced can grow in someone who feels overshadowed. They may not say anything out loud, but they might push you aside when chances to rise in the organization appear. They could also be less friendly or more distant. Over time, that can hurt your progress more than you might guess. It helps to look at real situations where this law becomes clear. Think about a person at work who handles projects with amazing skill. Let's call him Adam. He finishes tasks faster and with better results than anyone else. People praise him and Adam starts to feel unstoppable. He is often compared to the boss, but in an unintentional way. Maybe others jokingly say, Adam is the real genius in this office, or our future boss. These jokes might feel fun at first, but to the current boss they may sound like warnings. The more Adam basks in these comments without directing some credit toward his boss, the more the boss might feel uneasy. Though no words of conflict are said, there is tension. If the boss sees Adam as a threat, Adam might soon find his projects taken away or his ideas dismissed. The boss could act in small ways that limit Adam's influence. Adam, once so promising, wonders why things changed. The root is often the hidden fear of being outdone. The law suggests that when you sense this pressure building, you don't fight back or openly argue. Instead, you redirect the spotlight. You point to how your achievements are thanks to the guidance of your superior. You make it clear you see them as an inspiration. You avoid the traps of being too flashy in front of them. If you do want to stand out, you do it in a way that boosts your superior's reputation as well. It might feel like a strategy, but it's also a show of humility. By lifting up those above you, you show you respect their experience and rank, and you let them keep feeling secure in their role. One misunderstanding about this law is that it tells you to be weak or to hold yourself back forever. That isn't the point. The point is to be thoughtful and patient. In the presence of someone with more power, balance your talent with respect for their position. Once you have a steady alliance with them and they see you as an ally, you can showcase your abilities more freely. But if you go all out too early, you risk creating a rivalry without even realizing it. After all, most people in power didn't get there without some ambition or ego. They may pretend they aren't bothered, but deep inside, they might be tracking every sign that you want the top spot. Another angle is to recognize that sometimes it doesn't matter if you have no desire to take over. Perception can be more powerful than truth. Your boss or mentor might imagine threats where there are none, simply because your abilities shine bright. That is why this law warns you to manage perceptions. You may not care about climbing higher, but if your superior believes you do, that suspicion can affect your future. Taking a friendly approach, giving credit where it's due and acknowledging their experience helps calm these fears. It allows both you and your boss to work together without that hidden sense of competition. So how do you use this law in everyday life? You can start by observing how your boss or mentor reacts when you share new ideas. If they seem happy to discuss them and take them further, you have a supportive environment where you can keep contributing. If, however, they brush off your ideas or look uncomfortable whenever you shine, you might need to slow down. Share your thoughts carefully and make sure to say how your boss's past advice led you to these ideas. Let them feel part of your success. This small gesture can transform the dynamic. Instead of feeling replaced, your superior might feel proud to have played a role in your accomplishment. Another useful tactic is to show appreciation. For instance, if you receive praise from others, direct some of that praise toward your boss in a genuine way. Mention how their guidance or example played a major role in your success. This can ease the tension because it reassures them you're not taking all the credit. You're sharing the spotlight, which often reduces the need for them to defend their territory. It also makes your success look like a reflection of their leadership. Being mindful of your timing is another way to apply this law. When you join a new environment, take time to learn the unspoken rules. Who has been there the longest? Who holds the real power, whether or not they have the biggest title? Spot the person who might feel threatened if you come in strong with new skills. Sometimes that person is not your boss at all, but a manager who fears you might become everyone's favorite resource. By stepping in gracefully and respecting established roles, you set a friendly tone. Over time, people won't see you as competition, but as a helpful member of the team. Then, as trust grows, you can display more of your talents without risking a bad reaction. Of course, there will be moments when, no matter how careful you are, someone above you feels threatened anyway. They might have a deep insecurity. In such a case, do not try to prove them wrong with logic. Even if you explain you're not aiming for their position, their fear may remain. The best you can do is soften your approach and create an atmosphere where they feel respected. You might compliment their leadership style, ask for their input on your next project, or look for ways to share credit. It doesn't always succeed, but it often lessens the tension and keeps your relationships workable. An important element here is patience. People often try to move quickly to show they can lead, forgetting that the higher-ups spent years climbing the ladder. If they see you rushing to do in months what took them ages, they might resent you. Show that you're ready to learn. Ask questions rather than always offering the answers. Prove that you want to grow under their guidance. Over time, they might become your strongest supporter because your respect for them made them feel secure. Then, when you do begin to stand out, they'll be far more likely to celebrate your rise rather than feel threatened by it. Law number 1 can also apply to friendships or family dynamics, though it's often most visible in the workplace. Even outside of work, if you are too quick to display your talents around someone who expects to be the top figure, friction can build. Being aware of how they see themselves and how they see you is the key to smoother relationships. It might feel like a subtle act, but it prevents hostility before it starts. In following this law, remember, you're not being dishonest or manipulative if your intentions are good. You're simply understanding human nature. A boss or mentor who feels overshadowed can react in negative ways that hurt your progress. By keeping them comfortable and respected, you avoid unnecessary obstacles. You might find that your tact wins you greater influence. People in charge often appreciate someone who knows how to handle power dynamics gently. Still, there are times when standing out is part of your plan and you don't have a choice. Maybe you're at a crossroads where you either show your worth or you stay invisible. If you must highlight your skills, do so while giving plenty of acknowledgement to those who paved the way. This might feel like a balancing act, but it keeps the peace while letting you shine. Should you forget this balance, you could end up on the wrong side of people who, out of fear or envy, could slow your rise. Law number 1 is a reminder that success is not just about being the best. It's also about fitting into the environment you want to succeed in. Recognize the pride, insecurities, and fears of your superiors. Make them partners in your growth instead of rivals. Let them feel secure, let them enjoy the respect they believe they've earned. In return, they might lift you up rather than hold you back. This law doesn't say you must always hide your talents. It teaches you to reveal them in ways that help you move forward together with those in power. By embracing that wisdom, you protect yourself from hidden danger and lay a stronger foundation for your future achievements.